Letter of Allama Iqbal to Mr. Jinnah. Al-Faisal Nasran Tazrani Kutab Ghazni State Urdu Bazaar Lahore. Mr. Lahore, June 21st, 1937. My dear Mr. Jinnah, thank you so much for your letter which I received yesterday. I know you are a busy man, but I do hope you will not mind my writing to you so often, as you are the only Muslim in India today whom the community has a right to look up for safe guidance through the storm which is coming in north-west India, and perhaps to the whole of India. I tell you that we are actually living in a state of civil war which for the police and military would become universal in no time. During the last few months, there has been a series of Hindu-Muslim riots in India. In northwest India alone, there have been at least 3 riots during the last 3 months, and at least 4 cases of vilification of the Prophet by Hindus and Sikhs. In each of these 4 cases, the vilifier has been murdered. There have also been cases of burning of the Quran in Sindh. I have carefully studied the whole situation and believe that the real cause of these events is neither religious nor economic. It is purely political. That is the desire of Sikhs and Hindus to intimidate Muslims even in the Muslim majority provinces. And the new constitution is such that even in the Muslim majority provinces, the Muslims are made entirely dependent on non-Muslims. The result is that the Muslim monastery can take no proper action and are even driven to do injustice to Muslims, partly to please those on whom they depend, and partly to show that they are absolutely impartial. Thus, it is clear that we have our specific reason to reject this constitution. It seems to me that the new constitution is devised only in placate the Hindus. In the Hindu majority province, the Hindus have, of course, absolute majorities and can ignore Muslims altogether. In Muslim majority provinces, the Muslims are made entirely depend on Hindus. I have no doubt in my mind that this constitution is calculated to do infinite harm to the Indian Muslims. Apart from this, it is no solution of the economic problem which is so acute among Muslims. The only thing that the communal award grants to Muslims is the recognition of their political existence in India. But such a recognition granted to a people whom this constitution does not and cannot help in solving their problem of poverty can be of no value to them. The Congress President has denied the political existence of Muslims in no unmistakable terms. The other Hindu political party, that is the Mahasabha, whom I regard as the real representative of the masses of the Hindus, has declared more than once that a united Hindu-Muslim nation is impossible in India. In these circumstances, it is obvious that the only way to peaceful India is a redistribution of the country on the lines of racial, religious and linguistic affinities. Many British statesmen also realize this, and the Hindu-Muslim rights, which are rapidly coming in the wake of this constitution, are sure further to open their eyes to the real situation in the country. I remember Lord Lucian told me before I left England that my scheme was the only possible solution of the troubles of India, but that it would take 25 years to come. Some Muslims in Punjab are already suggesting the holding of Northwest Indian Muslim Conference, and the idea is rapidly spreading. I agree with you, however, that our community is not yet sufficiently organized and disciplined, and perhaps the time for holding such a conference is not ripe. But I feel that it would be highly advisable for you to indicate in your address at least the line of action that the Muslim of Northwest India would be finally driven to take. To my mind, the new constitution, with its idea of single Indian Federation, is completely hopeless. A separate federation of Muslim provinces, reform on the line I have suggested above, is the only course by which we can share a peaceful India and save Muslims from the domination of non-Muslims. Why should not the Muslims of Northwest Indian Bengal, by considering us nation entitled to self-determination, just as other nations in India and outside India are? Perhaps I think that the Muslims of Northwest India and Bengal ought at present to ignore Muslim minority provinces. This is the best course to adopt in the interest of both Muslim majority and minority provinces. It will therefore be better to hold the coming session of the League in Punjab and not in a Muslim minority province. The month of August is bred in Lahore. I think you should seriously consider the advisability of holding the coming session at Lahore in the middle of October, when the weather is quite good in Lahore. The interest in All India Muslim League is rapidly growing in the Punjab, and the holding of coming session in Lahore is likely to give a fresh political awakening to the Punjab Muslim. Yours sincerely, Muhammad Iqbal, Bar at Lahore, 11th August 1937. My dear Mr. Jinnah, events have made it abundantly clear that the League ought to concentrate all its activities on the Northwest Indian Muslims. The League office of Delhi informed Mr. Ghulam Rasul that the date of session of the Muslim League have not been fixed as yet. This being so, I fear it will not be possible to hold the session in August and September. I therefore repeat my request that the League sessions may be held in Lahore in the middle or the end of October. The enthusiasm for the League is rapidly increasing in the Punjab, and I have no doubt that the holding of the session in Lahore will be turning point in the history of the League and an important step toward mass contact. Please drop a line in reply. Yours sincerely, Mohammed Iqbal, Bar at Law. Lahore, 13 August 1937. My dear Jinnah, as I wrote to you yesterday, enthusiasm for the League is rapidly increasing in the Punjab. You will be glad to hear that without any initiative on the part of the Punjab Provincial Muslim League, about 20 branches of the League have already been established in different towns of the Punjab. I am convinced that if some of the office barriers of the Punjab Provincial Muslim League are able to make a tour of the province, they will be able not only to raise money but also to open the eyes of the general Muslim public in the Punjab to the situation which has fortunately developed itself on account of the Congress attitude toward the Muslim. Unfortunately, however, the Provincial League is very much handicapped by lack of fund, by initial expenses of such a tour. Could you make us a contribution of at least rupees 1500 from the central funds? I have every hope that our men will be able to raise sufficient money which will enable us to return the amount borrowed from you. We shall be much obliged if you could do so at your earliest convenience. Yours sincerely, Mohammed Iqbal. Lahore, 7th October 1937. My dear Mr. Jinnah, a strong contingent from the Punjab is expected to attend the Lucknow session of the League. The unionist Muslims are also making preparation to attend under the leadership of Sir Sikandar Hayat. We are living in a different time, and the Indian Muslims expect that your address will give them to clearest possible lead in all matters relating to the future of community. I suggest that the League may state or restate its policy relating to the communal award in the shape of suitable resolution. In the Punjab, and I hear also in Sindh, attempts are being made by misguided Muslims themselves to alter it in the interest of the Hindus. Such men fondly believe that by pleasing the Hindu, they will be able to retain their power. I personally believe that since the British government want to honor the Hindu who would welcome the upsetter of the communal award, the British government are trying to get it upset through their Muslim agents. I shall prepare a list of 28 persons for the vacancies in the League Council. Mr. Ghulam Rasool will show you this list. I hope that this choice will be carefully made. Our men will leave Lahore on the 13th. The Palestinian question is very much agitating the minds of the Muslims. We have a very fine opportunity for mass contact for the purpose of the League. I have no doubt that the League will pass a strong resolution on this question, and also by holding a private conference of leaders decide on some sort of positive action in which masses may share in large numbers. This will at once popularize the League and may help the Palestine Arab. Personally, I would not mind going to jail on an issue which affects both Islam and India. The formation of a Western base on the very gates of the East is a menace to both. With best wishes, yours sincerely, Muhammad Iqbal, Baradullah. P.S. The League should resolve that no promise should come to any understanding with other communities regarding the communal award. This is an all-India question and must be settled by the League alone. Perhaps you may go further and say that the present atmosphere is not at all suitable for any communal understanding. Lahore, 28th May 1937. My dear Mr. Jinnah, thank you so much for your letter which reached me in due course. I am glad to hear that you will bear in mind what I wrote to you about the changes in the Constitution and program of the League. I have no doubt that you fully realize the gravity of the situation as far as Muslim India is concerned. The League will have to finally decide whether it will remain a body representing the upper classes of Indian Muslim or Muslim masses who have so far with good reason taken no interest in it. Personally, I believe that a political organization which gives no promise of improving the lot of the average Muslim can attract our masses. Under the new constitution, the higher posts go to the sons of upper classes. The smaller one go to the friends or relatives of the ministers. In other matters too, our political institutions have never thought of improving the lot of Muslims generally. The problem of bread is becoming more and more acute. The Muslim has begun to feel that he has been going down and down during the last 200 years. Ordinarily, he believes that his poverty is due to Hindu money lending or capitalism. The perception that it is equally due to foreign rule has not yet fully come to him, but it is bound to come. The aesthetic socialism of Jawaharlal is not likely to receive much more response from the Muslim. The question therefore is how is it possible to solve the problem of Muslim